Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's Michelle Fox, and I'm ready to put some makeup on. Who's with me? Oh gosh. As I predicted, I have had a rough morning. Like I said, morning's not my bag. Got up a little bit later than expected, but I'm ready to go. Let me see if I've got everything rocking and rolling where I'm supposed to be. If you are joining me today, please say hello in the comments so I can enjoy your company. I think I see it. Yes, I do. Okay. And another thing that would be helpful for me is, because everything's all about me, is if you could let me know how you found this video, because I had it set up as an event and I'm still curious if you had to go to the event page, get into the event to see it, or if it just popped up in your feed, or if it was just on my business page for anyone to see whether you replied to the event or not. I suspect that is the case. But I won't be able to reply to comments today because of the software that I'm using. And this is indicating that I'm talking way too loud. So let me turn a couple things down. My last words before going to sleep were, I've got my alarm set and it didn't go off. I did something wrong. So I've been running around like a crazy person. But I did have time to prep my face. So again, I'm Michelle Fox from Michelle Fox Beauty. We are doing a fun summer look today. And if you would like to grab some colors so that you can follow along, it's basically sort of a sheer, shimmery, golden, coppery color, along with another shimmery purple. And we're going to do a juicy peach on the cheeks and a very, very sheer gloss on the lips. So it's quick and easy and just a really nice, fresh look for summer. And I'm excited because I want to show you something different to do with your eyes when, golly, this is still saying that I'm talking like off the charts loud. All right, let me look. If I'm talking crazy loud, say something in the comments. Let me check my comments here because it's like I've got red all across the board. I don't know why it would be like that. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, it is pretty loud. What's the deal? Huh. All right. Let me check some settings. Talk amongst yourselves. So anyway, I'm going to show you a way to do like bright colors, because we normally do neutral colors and we do them in a horizontal fashion where you've got, your light and your medium and your accent, or maybe your accent's out in the corner. But when you're using brighter colors rather than a horizontal lineup, sometimes it can be fun to do something vertical. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. As soon as I see what the heck is going on with my I don't know. Maybe I'll just push it farther away. Sorry. Anyway, so I've already prepped my face, and I do want to stress that there really is a difference whether you have your moisturizer on before you do your face or not. And I used to be just, bare bones. My skin type has always been normal. I really hardly moisturized ever at all, to tell you the truth. But if I ever did, it would be at night. But now I always moisturize day and night, and it does make a big difference in how your makeup looks and how it applies and even how everything is distributed. So I strongly encourage you to do your serums and your moisturizer and your eye cream and let that have time to set before you do your makeup routine. And then I did want to show you the products that I've done just to kind of get my face to this point. In the summertime, I like to use a CC cream. It's just quick and easy because this is your moisturizer, concealer, highlighter, sunscreen, foundation all in one. And it's just kind of fun to switch it up. I did prime my eyes with our eye primer, which is an amazing product. And I did use our lip primer because I'm really becoming aware of the wrinkles around my lips. And this is an age-fighting treatment, and it also is a primer for your lipstick so that it keeps it from bleeding and fading and going outside the lines. And I also did my brows. I love our brow products. I did our brow, what the heck is this called? Brow defining pencil, I think. And then this is the volumizing brow tint. So I do that. I still have my brows, but they are getting thinner, like fewer in number. And, you know, I'm getting some white ones in there. So I do have to pay more attention to that. All right, that's all the preliminaries. So we're going to start with our eyes. And if you're following along, I am using the all over eyeshadow brush to start. And we are using the color called Shiny Penny. We used to have one called Lucky Penny. And whenever they change names, I struggle for a while. But this one, I'm 97% sure is Shiny Penny. And we're going to put it like in the inner area of the eye. And I'm going to start wherever you lay your brush first is where the most concentration of the color is going to be. So I'm going to start with my brush right on my eyelid proper toward my nose. So this inner area right here. And then after I've laid down most of the product, I am going to sort of, you know, feather it up so that it doesn't end abruptly. I'm going to bring it up all the way to my brow, but the amount of color here is going to be much more sheer than the amount of color here. Okay. So since I was pointing to that one, I should probably start there. Okay. So I just lay the brush down and let the product kind of do its thing. And we're only going to go about, you know, to the middle of the eye. And then we're going to, after you feel like the product is off of the brush for the most part, then we start feathering it up. This look is featured in the spring lookbook. I did make a couple of little changes that I'll explain along the way. But you can see, if you need like another example nearby, you can see how she does it as well. And I think they tell you what product she has on, but the only like breakdown of how it's put together is for the eyes. All right, so there's eye number one. If you feel like you have too much product, you want to tap it off instead of blowing it. Sometimes I blow on it, but I'll tell you why later. But at this point, you just want to tap it off. Otherwise, you get moisture on the bristles, and you don't want that right now anyway. So again, I'm putting the concentration of color on the lower part of my lid, kind of patting that in there, but I'm keeping it toward that front area. And this is Shiny Penny. So if you had anything, you know, gold, bronze, coppery, you know, it would work just fine. And then sort of feathering it up toward my brow. And it's so weird that I usually do my makeup in my bedroom, and my light is all on the right side. And no matter what, I always end up having more color on one eye than the other. And in here, in my office, I have light all over the place, and I still end up having more color on one side than the other. I don't know if that's just a habit or what the heck. So usually after I apply something, like I can already tell I did it, I have to make adjustments. Like to me, it looks like this eye hardly has any and this eye has a lot. So I kind of just dab in a little bit to try to even it out. But then again, I've told you many times, I don't see that well without my glasses. Let's see. All right, we have a great blending brush, and that you can use just to kind of buff off if you feel like you have too much somewhere. Just trying to figure out if I want to put more on the right eye or less on the left eye. All right, we're doing that. Okay, the next part, rather than going right to the purple, we're going to use a liquid shadow. And here's where I've got some explaining to do. The color in the lookbook features our Pink Star Shine, I believe. Pink Star Shine eye color, and it's gorgeous. It really is so pretty. And I get it, because then you've got like the penny and the pink and the purple. And what I've been promoting is the light beam. And the only reason why I made that change is because some of you had purchased a packet to follow along with, and I wanted you to have the light beam because it's so versatile. The light beam can be used as an eye primer, just underneath any eye color. You can use it as a base color and then build on it, or you can use it by itself. You can do the same with the pink Starshine, but the pink Starshine is going to have a bit of a, of a pink look to it. So, but for demonstration purposes today, I'll stick with the program and I'll use the pink. And it says to put the pink in the center of the lid on both sides, and then in the corner of the eye, like where in the tear duct area. I will tell you ahead of time that this is like a cream to powder type finish, and it dries really, really fast. I used to put it on one eye and put it on the other eye. And by the time I went back to the eye number one to blend it or do whatever I'm going to do, it's already dry. So you really have to kind of know your strategy. And so here's my strategy. I'm going to put this on in the center, and then I'm going to use our liquid, or not liquid, it's called a cream eye color brush, to sort of pat it to make sure that it's evenly distributed and kind of create like a circle in the center of the eye. All right, so let's see. This is a really, really pretty, sort of a rosy color. And it has a ton of luminosity, like a ton of reflection, but it's not shimmery in the sense where it really reflects a lot of crepiness. So I really have enjoyed these liquid eye colors. Generally speaking, I'm not a big fan of anything that's real, shimmery, but I'm learning to try things outside of my comfort zone, but I'm also realizing that these liquid eye colors can do a lot more than I thought. All right, so I laid it down. Then I'm just kind of, helping it out. I'm just kind of moving it around. And then this here I left pretty thick in that middle area. And that is just to brighten that inner area. That is the only purpose that serves. And it's such a small maneuver, but it really, pops. It really looks nice. All right. So if anybody's following with me, I would love to know that, even though I can't see it right now. I'll find out later. But for sure, let me know that you're watching, where you're watching from, if you're doing this with me, if if you learn anything along the way. I love to learn all of that. One thing I've noticed when I use this is that it's really easy for me to get it underneath. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just me. So I do need to usually clean up underneath, unless I want it to be there, but I usually don't. So you can be careful of that. All right, now I got to find my brush again. And I'm just kind of just patting it. Here's the thing. There's a difference, between like feathering something and patting it, like depositing the color. It all depends on if you want the color to stay exactly where it is, or if you're trying to distribute it, or if you're trying to make it thinner. So when you hear different expressions, it does matter. You want to pay attention to the size of the brush, the type of the brush, and the technique that you're using with the brush. All right, and then this, I had it, really thick, so I'm just kind of taking off like the really thick excess. All right, I don't think I got any underneath this time. But again, I feel like I have more on one side. What's with that? I don't know. It might just be in my head. Probably is. I feel like I need more over here. That's my eyes are really, really, really different from one another, and most of us have differences in our eyes and our brows and all that. We don't so much want perfect symmetry, but we want to have similarity. We want to have similar placement. It's distracting, when something is drastically different from the other one, but you have to give yourself leeway to recognize that it's never going to be spot on. At least probably not. All right, now we get to use the super fun Frozen Iris. This is a really pretty color, and it's, you know, it's not super dark. It gives a nice punch of color, but it's not really dark. Like the Sweet Plum is pretty dark, so it's nice for people to experiment with. So as I was saying, how instead of doing like a horizontal placement where we do all the way across with the light color and all the way across with the medium color, we did like straight up and down with the shiny penny, and then I did a little something in the middle, and now we're going to do straight up and down in this latter part out here. Okay, so this last section, I'm tapping off the excess, and then this is the Frozen Iris. So I'm thinking two things. I want the concentration of color to be down here, but I also like to have some color in this outer corner. So I'm going to actually lay my brush in that outer corner to begin and bring it both down and in. We are going to take it up to the top of the brow eventually, but I want the most color to be in that lower area. Okay. And then I'll just sort of feather back up to my brow with any remaining powder. So this is meant to be like just a very soft look, sort of reminiscent, or, you know, is that the right word? I don't know. It's supposed to look sort of like a sunset. All right. Now I am used to using 3 colors. I'm used to having a dark accent in the corner. If you don't ever use a darkest color, this is probably enough, but I'm going to put a little more in that corner, in that outer corner. It also helps give some lift since my eyes are really droopy. If I put a little, you know, darker color higher, it gives a little more lift. But I'm still sticking with that vertical pattern. I'll show you up close in a sec. You see how we've got sort of like the stripy shiny penny, sort of the pink is sort of in the middle, and then the stripy, I always want to call it lilac iris, Frozen Iris. It's really pretty, isn't it? It's different. Okay, we are going to blend it some more. So if you feel like it's a little too stripy, we've got that coming up. So again, I'm going to put that in that outer corner. Wherever you lay your brush is where the concentration of color is going to be. So you kind of think that through in advance. So I want that concentrated color to be out there, and then I'm bringing it down and across. And so you could easily use light beam. Really, you could probably use any of the 4 shimmery liquid eye colors. But yeah, I do like that pink star shine a lot. And then bring it up to the brow. Now let's see if it's, oh, wow, they look a little, almost not too bad. Let's see. Huh, all right, all right. Put a little bit more in that outer corner, but they actually looked pretty even. We are going to use the Frozen Iris as a liner too, which is really, really pretty. All right. For me, I probably would not blend because I like a little drama, but the instructions do say to use our blending brush and blend so that it's not quite as obvious where, you know, one color starts and the next one, yeah, where they start and stop. I think what I'm going to do is leave what's on my lid alone, and I'm just going to blend underneath my brow. I'll give it that. I'll let that happen, but I kind of want to leave the rest. But isn't that fun? It's really pretty. So again, these were Shiny Penny, Pink Starshine, and Frozen Iris. I just have like a brain fart every time I try to think of that one. Okay, and then I'm going to take, we have a really cool tool that has like a spoolie on one end to brush your brows, and then it has a really thin, skinny liner brush on the other end. Am I doing that right? And I'm going to use the Frozen Iris to line underneath. All right, now here's where sometimes I'll blow on this, and that's because I don't mind getting a little moisture on my brush for this one, just because I don't want this to be like flaky at all. I want it to really be precise, but officially you're not supposed to blow on your brushes. Whatever. So I'm just going right along my lower lash line with the Frozen Iris. Just really very simple. And whether you line underneath or put mascara underneath is really up to you. And I've learned, if I didn't wear glasses, I think I would hardly ever do anything underneath, because the more focus that you have with your lashes and everything up above, the more lift you have. But because I wear glasses, a lot of times all you can see is the lower part of my eye. So I feel like if I don't put anything, it's pretty blah. So I go back and forth. I want this thick enough so that you can see the reflection, because this has almost like an iridescent property. It's very, very pretty. Okay, I think that is good. Okay, but we're not done. We're not done with eyes. Something fun to think about in the summer is to switch up your liner. Well, switch up a lot of stuff. Like, you probably will need a slightly darker foundation. But for liners, you know, I sell so much of our black liner, which is amazing. But think about using a brown or a steely for summer, just something a little softer and lighter. So this look calls for deep brown. And I'm going to line the top only. And again, because my eye is droopy, I'm going to start from the outside, lining the top. And I'm going to come just to about the mid section of my eye, because if I continue, it just is going to emphasize the fact that my eye keeps going down. You'll see, I think, as I go along. So I start outside and I come in to line my eyes, but I stop about midway, about right here, because if I keep going, I'm going to emphasize the fact that, you know, it droops down. My eyes are droopy on both sides. And as much as possible, I want to give that illusion of lift. So I even bring up this outer part, give it a tail, to sort of even that out so that it looks more straight across. And I'm using deep brown to do that. It's okay to anchor, but you don't want to pull. So if you can, you know, put your finger there to hold something in place, but it's when you're tugging that can be a problem. And we open our mouth when we do our eyes to relax our eyes. It's a fact. So if people make fun of you for doing that, poo on them, okay? That is a fact check. Our eyeliners are the best on the market. Okay, I need a tissue. My allergies are particularly bad in the morning. But our eyeliners are just soft enough, hopefully you observed, that they apply so smoothly and so easily. And yet, even though they're soft, they're not smeary. And I know that prior to Mary Kay in my life, when I would look for liners, either they were really hard and waxy and they didn't create a smooth line, or if they created a smooth line, they were so soft that it smeared everywhere, and by, you know, an hour into the day, I had it all over the place. And these are not the case at all. These are amazing. Hold on. I always look like I get emotional. But now that I do wear more eye cream probably than ever in my life, I will see it travel a little bit. And traveling is a more proper word than smearing. So if you have any issue at all with your eye liner traveling, you can set it just like you set your foundation. And I would set this with another dark brown powder. So I would use this liner again and just go over what I just did with a dark brown eyeshadow. And then that's going to set it just to help it stay in place. It's for years and years I did not need to do this, but I've just noticed lately, and I know it's because of how many eye products I use, that I just need to do a little extra, and that's all right. I'm willing. Okay, and that just helps set it, keep it in place. If you don't have that problem, don't worry about it. All right, the mascara that we're going to use, I'm excited about because since Fanorama came out, that's been getting all the attention. Oh my gosh, something looks all blank. Let me make sure I'm still hooked up. I'm telling you, what a day. Yeah, I think we're still good. Okay, good. All right, we are going to use the Lash Intensity Mascara today. And this was our wow factor prior to the Fanorama. This is the one that we would say, gave you the look of false lashes prior to the Fanorama. That one is amazing, but this has its own unique look. Quite a few years ago, sort of a spidery eyelash look became in vogue. This deposits fibers on your lashes, and it gives your lashes sort of like texture, and it's a different look than the Fanorama. It's totally different than anything else in our line. The brush itself is really, really different, and so you can observe how it is used. You want to apply it like any other at the base of your lash. You wiggle it and you bring it all the way to the end. Whoops, just gouged myself. You want to engage all of your lashes and then bring it all the way out. But wait, there's more. So this is depositing fibers. It's just giving your lashes a different look. But once you've done that, you turn this like a quarter turn, and there are different length bristles in here. And so when you turn it, you are using a different part of the brush and engaging. It's doing serving a different purpose. And so then you go back and you do the same thing, but with this new area. And something I just figured out is that since I don't bring my liner all the way across, I need to make sure that I get my lashes colored in there, or it does look kind of funny. Looks like I, kind of forgot to do half of my eye. And you can go back and do as many layers as you want, as many coats as you want. Whoops. It definitely builds. But I don't want to, take all day. Mascara is like the thing that always takes me the longest. I don't know if there's such a thing as somebody that can do this quickly or not, but for me, I don't know, it takes me a while. So you get in the base, you wiggle it, and you go all the way to the end. This is black. We only have black for this. Then you turn it a quarter turn. You go back and do it all over again. So this should be giving you quite a dramatic look, even with just one coat. But like I said, you can do several coats. I'm not going to do my bottom lashes just because that really takes me a while because mine are so fine. But usually if I put color underneath, I'll use mascara underneath as well. All right, let me look before I show you. All right, it looks pretty good. What do you think? Yeah, it's nice. So this is Lash Intensity. So this is water resistant. It's not waterproof, but it's very long lasting. Okay, now the rest is going to go by so fast. So put your seatbelt on. We've got Juicy Peach cheek color. And we've talked so long about, you know, the apple of our cheek and, you know, yada, yada. But I think, again, in the summer, I just like really light, soft, sheer, easy. So I just sort of dip in to my cheek color. And I don't really so much start on the apple of my cheek. I just sort of keep right on the cheekbone, but more toward that outer area. And just like a really soft, sheer wash of color. Just keep it really simple. And I try not to get too close to my nose or too low on my face. Again, just trying to keep it lifted. Oh, I might even need a little more. Isn't that nice? Most people, you know, will look really nice in a peachy color in the summertime. And again, that's another example of something to switch over to. If you're used to wearing, you know, more of a wine or a brick during the fall and winter, you know, switch over to like a peachy melon type color in the summer. It's just fun. Variety is the spice of life. I'm just doing it just along the cheekbone. Nothing crazy fancy. And I like, you know, I like enough to show, but I don't want it to be too much. What do you think? That's probably even. I do have a more powerful light on this side, so it does throw me off a little bit. So this is Juicy Peach. We have a couple other peachy colors, but this is what we're using today. All right, and then last, OMG, we're like right at the end, right? Eyes, cheeks, this, done. This is Sheer Illusion lip gloss, and this is truly like my #1 lip gloss because you can wear it by itself or you can wear it on top of any lipstick to give it just a little bit of shimmer and just to maybe tone it down. But even though this is really, really, really light, it's just got just enough oomph that it shows up on camera and in pictures. Let me show you. It's just such a neat color. And this again has an iridescent aspect to it. And I like to put it on nice and thick. Sheer Illusion. I just think it is such a beautiful color. I have, you know, like one in my purse, one in my car, one in my bedroom, one in my bathroom because I just love it. And like I said, you can wear it by itself. You can wear it on top of something. And if you feel like this isn't quite enough, then you could line your entire, you could line your entire lip with a liner and then put this on top. So there are lots of different ways to wear it. So this, let me get I always like to finish with a big fluffy brush. Kind of blend everything in right here. This is the look. What do you think? I think it's super fun. It's just soft and fresh and just, the colors are different, but they're not so crazy bold that it's like, oh gosh, I don't think I could pull that off. You know what I mean? So please let me know if you tried this, if you have these colors, if you love these colors, if you want to try them. If you're my customer, I've got samples available. I'm pretty sure of everything I just showed you. And if you would like to make a purchase, I will provide a link to my website. So we are ready to go out and look fabulous today. I get to do grocery shopping. What do you get to do? But thanks so much. I hope you had fun. We haven't done a makeup tutorial in quite a while, so I just felt like it was about darn time that we did one, and I hope you learned something and had a few laughs. And I'm going to go find some coffee because I have not even had time for coffee yet today. Make sure that you make some comments. I will reply, and if you ask any questions, I will answer. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks so much for your time. I better put my glasses on so I can find where I need to push the button to make it stop. Thanks again. And I will see you, I guess I will see you on Thursday, right? Thursday, I have a live video at 7 every evening. Every Thursday evening at 7 Eastern Standard Time on my business page, Michelle Fox Beauty, if you didn't know. All right, so I will see you there. Bye.